Earth, 18,000 years before the present. It's a world locked and cold at the height of the last great ice age. Across tens of thousands of years, unmelting snows have compacted into massive glaciers. Buried under ice sheets averaging a mile thick are lands where hundreds of millions live today. As Earth's water is increasingly locked up in ice, Japan becomes part of mainland Asia. Across North America, ice fields and glaciers envelop all of Canada and the northernmost United States. It was the genesis of a great wave of life that would inhabit the Americas. And this was it. Crossing into ancient Alaska, migrating herds find new forage and sheltering valleys. But they're followed from Asia by fierce carnivores, saber-toothed cats. Crossing into ancient Alaska, migrating herds find new forage and sheltering valleys. But they're followed from Asia by fierce carnivores, saber-toothed cats, giant bears, and the greatest of all predators. They arrive in small bands from Siberia, pressing east in pursuit of game, unaware they're discovering a continent. The hunters are sustained by bison, moose, woolly mammoth, and the wild reindeer called caribou. Where frozen tundra limits vegetation, meat is life. Most of the year, it is kill The hunters prosper here across millennia. But as the receding ice age opens the wall of glaciers to the south, most move on with the herds into the virgin continents beyond. Their descendants will become Apache and Sioux, Aztec and Maya, Inca and Amazonian. Yet some remain in Alaska. For them, this is a world of mysterious forces and spirits. To science, the aurora borealis is created by streams of charged particles from the sun colliding with the atmosphere. To some Native Americans, the northern lights were children not yet born at play in the heavens. Massive snowfalls compress glacial ice so dense in some places only a single color of the spectrum is reflected. An ethereal blue, chilling and strangely beautiful, begins. Life along the coast, too, is eased by the warm season. After a vacationers enjoying a day at the beach. Will remain a couple for only a day or two, sharing a rough affection. Bear hugs will lead to the conception of new life, to be born in the hibernation den in the dead of winter. A world of extremes, Alaska is swept by enormous tidal fluctuations. Low tide can drain an entire bay like a bathtub. Taking advantage of the low tides, brown bears roam the exposed tidal flats to dig for clams. Any protein is welcome in the effort to replenish a body that can weigh 1,400 pounds. Perhaps noticing the success of mother and cub, an imitator arrives. But clamming is not as easy as it looks. To science, the aurora borealis is created by streams of charged particles from the sun colliding with the atmosphere. To some Native Americans, the northern lights were children not yet born at play in the heavens. By North Pacific storms, sea lion colonies haul out to sun themselves, like vacationers enjoying a day at the beach. In the world of sea lions, size matters. Most of its rugged terrain can be crossed only with wings. Like its meadows, Alaska's seas bloom with fertility under the lengthening daylight. So rich are the waters, humpback whales swim nearly 4,000 miles from Hawaii to revel in Alaska's season of abundance. Rockets upward through the bubble net. Ice falls turn to waterfalls. Grasses emerge, fueled by up to 24 hours of sunlight a day. Animals hurry to store up nutrients before winter returns. Without the plenty of the warm season, life couldn't survive the long months of bitter cold. In summer, a miracle arrives from the sea. In wave after wave, salmon return from the open ocean, and in of smell guiding them, they sweep into Alaska by the millions in a vast flood of life. They face a marathon journey upstream, sometimes hundreds of miles long. Yet they persist, even in the face of impossible obstacles. For brown bears, it's the last opportunity to add the bulk they need for the months of winter hibernation ahead. Dominant bears claim the best fishing spots. Hell of fishing. There's the scanner. And the apprentice scanner. For the submariner, the key is not to be graceful, but persistent. Most bears fish singly and selfishly. Only a mother shares her catch. For some, greed prompts its own style of fishing. The mugger. The salmon banquet is brief. Nothing is wasted. Many feed. But with hibernation time approaching, none more urgently than a bear. To store up fat, bears may fish 20 hours a day. Large males can put on 300 pounds. Success in the world of the brown bear is a simple matter of reaching one's sleeping weight. Some reach it a little too soon. For salmon that make it past the gauntlet of predators, time is running out. Powerful instincts have brought them back to lay and fertilize the eggs of the next generation. Only one of 100 born here have survived to perform this final act. And in giving life, all will die. Their eggs will develop beneath the ice of winter in water enriched by their parents' decaying bodies, turning loss to renewal, ending to beginning. After as few as 6 weeks of warmth, they survive freeze over so the hunt can resume. Some males while away the time in friendly play fighting. For a female and her youngster, the long wait is a time of both motherly affection and danger for the cub. Despite the fierce protection of mothers, fewer than half survive their first year. Accidents and starvation are persistent threats, but she must also avoid her own kind. Finally, the sea freezes over. The season of waiting and fasting ends. With their extraordinary sense of smell, they can detect. Searching for food, they're vulnerable to hungry predators. For a species that must cooperate to survive, rivalries are brief, the leader's dominance nearly absolute. As the full fury of winter envelops Alaska, temperatures can reach 50 below zero or lower. Elk have learned to change their diet in winter to feed on only the highest protein forage available. Yet, it is a harsh time for yearlings. Half will not make it. Bison, protected by shaggy hair over head and shoulders, also grow a special winter fur to cover their hindquarters. The muskox is outfitted with broad hooves to walk on snow, and a winter undercoat of cashmere-like wool, softer than a lamb's and impervious to the cold. Alaska's last horned survivor of the Pleistocene age. It embodies the hunt, sanctioned by international law, is a sacred ritual to the Inupiats. Hauling in its body, they thank the whale for the gift of life-sustaining nourishment to combat the piercing cold. For other humans, the cold has posed a mortal threat. Recorded stayed on. Named. A place shaped by ice and solitude. In Alaska, we are witnesses to the triumph of life itself. Here we can rediscover a vitality vanishing from our lives and reawaken the spirit of the wild, remembered not in our minds, but in the blood and the heart. Whether or not we will ever reach Alaska, we all want to know that such a place still exists. Earth, 18,000 years before the present. It's a world locked and cold at the height of the last great ice age. Across tens of thousands of years, unmelting snows have compacted